So while Purdue football was busy not quitting and just hanging around and not going away against Notre Dame, Purdue basketball, the number one team in the country with championship aspirations, was training with the Navy SEALs. This is a real thing. This is not a made up bit. I wish it was a made up bit, but there's real photo, video evidence of this shared by the Boiler Ball Twitter account and other social media channels as well. We have every single member of Purdue basketball in white t-shirts and what looks like black military pants and belts. The shirts have just their last names on the front and back, and that's it in block letters. At boot camp, basically, we got a video of all of Purdue's players basically carrying these giant logs together at once and carrying this past Mackey Arena and through the campus. We've got Oscar Clough at night in what appears to be a field pushing one of those sleds. We got TKR, it looks like hanging on for dear life on a rope at some point. So, yeah, this is real. Apparently, Matt Painter has his players working out doing Navy SEALs training on the first weekend before practice begins. I believe official Purdue practice begins tomorrow on Wednesday. So this was kind of one last non-basketball related hurrah before practice starts for the Boilers. What do you think of this tactic, and what does it mean for the rest of the country that the number one team in the country has decided to be Navy SEALs?
On one hand, it could be the worst thing that ever happened to them because now they're going to be in the greatest shape ever. On the other hand, maybe some people hit the portal and join the Navy instead of playing college basketball now that they've trained with the Navy SEALs. So it just depends on how they liked it. Antoine West Jr., by the way, like in all these photos, looks like he fits in perfectly with whatever workout they're doing. It looks like he's killing it in every single one of these. Um, I think it's hilarious that they're just carrying a log past Mackie. And then at night, I'm assuming that's night, but I guess it also could just be like 3 in the morning too. Like when they like during their wake up call, they're just pushing stuff on a field that I'm assuming is the football field. The whole thing's hilarious to me. Someone needs to be standing underneath TKR whenever he climbs a rope because it just looks like he should be falling at the moment, and it just doesn't look safe for him. Um, I think it's really cool, to be honest with you. If I was a recruit, I don't think I would want anything to do with this personally, because I'm lazy. But if I wasn't lazy, I would be really bought in on all of this. And ultimately, I think my biggest takeaway, and I told you this yesterday, Braden Smith tattoos look sick too. That's my biggest, like, whoever the camera person was for the first photo where the teams are both carrying the logs and it has this green tattoo showing right away. Special picture, special tattoos, special group. Purdue 3 units.
Yeah, you're just adding more units. Is that what we're doing basically?
I
Uh,
think
yeah, no, there's not, I don't think there's much ways to spin this as anything other than just like a fun, cool bonding opportunity. I will say, if we texted Braden Smith, not to name drop, but let me name drop the National Player of the Year for a moment. I think people know this, but Carter and I have a pretty friendly relationship with Purdue's point guard through the years. He's been a guest on the show before, and when I took a little leave of absence from Purdue coverage last year, he sent a very long, nice text to us. So, anyways, we always try to support him and vice versa. But occasionally, I'll just shoot a text to that group chat between the three of us and be like, "What the hell is going on?" So I sent the link from Purdue Twitter's pictures of this to Braden and said, "All right, we're doing a video on this tomorrow. Can we get some official Braden Smith commentary on this, please? Was this as hard as it looks, and how did this happen?" And this is word for word what Braden Smith said back to me. He said, "LOL, just a little weekend Navy SEALs training session. I'd say it was more about team bonding and pushing through all this stuff rather than it being easy or hard. It was honestly a great time, and I think we all got more closer than we thought we would." So first off, there's your leader, Boiler Nation. I mean, your leader is just embracing all of this. Carter and I then responded and said, "Paint's in his bag, man. We're terrified of him." Carter said, "I'm a grown man and I've seen paint in my nightmares at minimum 3 nights a week." And Braden just hit us with laughing emojis back. So that's where we stand. We're very afraid of this. This is something if Michigan State basketball was doing, I would clown it endlessly and point out why would anyone ever want to go play for Tom Izzo? So he makes you like crawl under barbed wire through the mud instead of like do layup lines. However, when the number one team in the country does it, and you like see the pictures of TKR and how into this he was, it's like okay, yeah, makes sense. This might be the clientele that enjoyed this. Omer looked like he was having the time of his life, by the way, which is just a little bit hilarious to me. Also, like, welcome to America. Here, every normal human being needs military grade training just to be ready, right? That's kind of the message being sent here. TKR was cracking me up. He looks so serious in all of these pictures. Did you notice that?
It's because honestly, TKR was fighting for his life in every one of these pictures, and we could help. Like that. That I have 3 units on Purdue to win the national title. Our second best player nearly fell off a rope as he was elevated like 10 feet. Can we get somebody underneath him? Can we maybe get like an air mattress, something to fall on that's a little softer than the ground?
Dion, how's your job going?
Beginning of the school year, everything's like a little up and down. One of the biggest issues we've had is we can't find any uniforms for our girls' sports teams.
Mm, that's a difficult thing to find a solution for. I know damn well all about that because I got a daughter that just turned 2. She's into sports and she's already outgrowing every little piece of sports apparel she had. Thankfully, I know Clara Kate Creations. Clara Kate Creations was started by a former high school teacher who quit because it wasn't cost effective to send new twins and a 2-year-old to daycare. She found it easier to make girls' sports apparel than finding it to buy. And I am so thankful that she exists because if we have an old shirt of Murph's that she's outgrown, we can send it in and she takes that piece of apparel that means something and upcycles it into an outfit that Murphy can now wear as she grows up. She makes great stuff. It's honestly kind of like your fullback's wife, Kyle Juszczyk. Is that how you say it? She does that. But honestly, I think Clara Kate's coming for Mrs. Juszczyk's job.
I love that. I'm a big Juice guy, love his wife. Love Claire Kate even more than both of them, though.
You can send in your own custom ideas and she will come up with a design. She's just the best. Look up Clara Kate Creations on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and more. Yeah. Yep. So many parts of this just like in my head, visually mapping out how this came to be that are really funny. They're probably not even real, but in my head, they are. Like Matt Painter's nowhere to be found. Like, if you go to the Instagram carousel of this, there's more pictures than they shared to Twitter. There's like 12. And in a few of them, they're like in the Purdue facility, like with the Navy SEAL, kind of like giving the speech before the whole day is about to begin. Painter just nowhere to be found. In my head, Painter's like on his couch watching college football with like a beer in hand. Like, look what I'm doing to my guys today. Hope they have fun. It's cracking me up. Braden knew where the cameras were at all times, and I applaud him. That's why he's our guy. Not to say he wasn't working, because he was working and leading. You could clearly tell that. But also, like, if there was a new drill we're doing, military style, Braden was heart and soul center of it at all times, in the middle. He's got arms locked, looking at his guys. He looked great. The tattoos were shining, as you said. So I don't know. This is just fun. I think if I'm a Purdue fan, I would be eating this up. And I'm curious how the other quote unquote elite teams are going to respond to this. Like I think Kelvin Sampson's got to see this and come up with his own military training to insinuate that they're also the number one team in the country, you know?
Do we need to establish ourselves as the number one media company by doing Navy SEALs training at the Final Four?
We no, we would quit. We would all quit. I don't think any of us. Riley Davis would love it. Riley would like get way too into it. I think you and I would quit within the first drill,
Sure.
and Carter would have no-showed the entire event.
Or would have set it up 3 hours away from where we're staying and then never make it to where he's supposed to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. That was today. Shit. Quick power rankings. Purdue players who would be the best Navy SEALs. Give me a top three.
I gotta go Antoine West. He looked good in every photo. He made sure, like, he was very aware where the camera was too, and he knows not that many people know who he is yet. So
Mhm.
if you notice, he always made sure the back of his shirt was to the camera. That way you see West Jr. at all times.
Very smart.
It was
Very
very
smart move. Yep.
Braden, I think, would obviously be up there. Pretty much anything that could go on in life, Braden's in my top three for accomplishing it. And then Clough looked really good underneath the lights. Like they should play like a night basketball game with the lights off, and I think Clough goes for 40 and 30 without seeing the hoop.
That one pic of him doing the sled push at night is pretty awesome. Like, there's some great background phone wallpaper material here. Yeah, I think Clough, I would put TKR in my top three instead of Antoine and obviously Braden. There is also a very clear bottom three of horrible Navy SEALs, though. Daniel Jacobson was out there fighting for his life the entire time. Fletcher Lawyer, the allegations that he got stronger, not a good look right now. Let's get that man out of wet t-shirts, get him a hoodie, preferably an extra large, a little baggy. Trust me, there's tricks to making sure people don't know you don't have muscles. Fletcher kind of got exposed here on an island. And then tough day for the Jack Benter believers. Very tough day for the Jack Benter needs to be a rotation guy believers. Jack Benter, I didn't see much from him in a setting that I thought he would thrive in, honestly.
Yeah, another person I didn't see much from in a setting that you would think they would dominate, Jakari Harris, maybe. Like this feels like a Jakari CJ Cox moment where they separate from Omer and they're like, yo, this is our country. These are our Navy SEALs. We're gonna dominate this. Omer kind of showed up like, yo, big dog, like I'm not tripping off all this like military stuff. Like I can do it too.
Yeah, very fair. Pretty cool that they do this in all seriousness. And yeah, I hope Paint enjoyed an empty table at Harry's just laughing to himself while this went down.